So what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna tell the story of my own. Though I should say they're all stories of my own. And by the way, hey, hello out there, all the elite peeps on YouTube space and internet land and demands or whatever space connected to internet and being related to YouTube space as well. It's me, Alex, and it's my weird personality again. If you're not familiar with the shits that happen here, that I will hear my channel, I'm all about to familiarize you with those ones. And not only with those ones, but maybe something might be also related to some subject that thing that I pitch you in the very beginning of today's video should end. Though we'll see how my video should have today will unveil and materialize. It's gonna be materializing something meaningful, I should say, and I believe that I'll be following that pattern of things that I just predicted right now, just in front of your own eyes. And let's see, what story do I have for tonight? I always make unprepared video shoots, so what's the point of making prescripted, pre-made things and extracting out of your mind and without any friggin' mistakes? And I'm not that by the bookish style of guy. I've never been just like that, and never followed. Maybe at some occasions I followed some rules, but they didn't matter for me, all those rules, and I always wanted to immerse myself in fluent American speech. And now being immersed into those, I have something to say. Literally, I have something on board, and I'm just practicing my American. So, the story of tonight, going back to the track of my initial point that I wanted to pitch here in my video shoot of tonight, that's gonna be the story that stems from my childhood years. I have to press some button. I got it wrong. I got it in the wrong way. I have to use my mouse in order to computer mouse to press some friggin' button on the screen of my durable PC. Remind me later, okay. It will remind me later. I can't fucking believe it will remind me later to do something. Anyways, getting back to the track of what I was gonna say. This story that stems from my very childhood years, maybe when I was a kid around 8 years old, or maybe near to 10 years old, and I was having the nicest times with my acquaintances, with my friends. We all lived at my yard, and we also had a bunch of activities connected to nothing doing, and let's just literally bullshitting in a big way. We were bullshitting in a big way, not literally wasting our precious times of our childhood, but learning something out of it by wasting our time with doing something wrong, or not so meaning wrong way, but doing something useless and silly as we were kids, as I told you. And getting back to the storyline. The storyline goes as follows. We went on a journey on a tiles producing factory that is from within the distance of 15 kilometers from the place where I lived at the time, and we went there with a group around maybe a few members in it, like 4 of us were there, or maybe 5 of us were there. All the kids around the same age, around 8 or 10 years old, as I told you, and we got to the location, to the tiles producing factory, and there was some older guy who led our group, and we were just we followed him, that leader. I don't remember sadly, but I don't remember his name now. But it's not the point of today's story. The point is will be clear later on. Once I tell you the gist of this, you will feel on your own the gist of today's story, though we'll see how it unveils. So what we were doing, we were picking up those little tiles, making children games with those. We flipped them over, and we got them on our palms, and being flipped to that side or another side, and that meant something. That childhood years game that gave us a lot of just entertaining mood, and we were having fun out of that game. It's called the Tiles game, and there are a bunch of activities related to that childhood years Tiles game, and I'm not about diving too deeply into those particularities. The only thing that you want to know that we had that kind of game that was called and still is Tiles game. We were there because of that reason, to collect and to pick up all those tiles, nicest ones, translucent and opaque ones, and not only translucent but not translucent. They valued slightly lower, their value is slightly lower than those ones being translucent and opaque and of different colors with different shades and different colors. And again, those ones were for making concrete construction blocks, and those concrete construction blocks for the apartment houses, they were decorated with those tiny little colorful tiles, and we were about to pick them up, and we did actually eventually. That was the main goal of our journey into the tiles producing factory. As I began my narration at the very beginning of my story, and I always get sidetracked by being sidetracked by myself, I should say. So, getting back to the track, I was going to say that we were there on that location, on the tiles producing factory, we were picking them up, those little brilliant and lit tiles, and one security man who was securing the neighborhoods of these tiles producing factory, that security guy spotted us and yelled at us. He literally shouted at us, "What are you fucking doing here? Get fucking out here! It's a forbidden area, you shouldn't be here," or whatever. Just hit the road, just you're not allowed at this place. And we were just giggling, like grinning at him, because he was at the distance, let's say 100 meters from us. We were not scared by him at all, because he was far away from us, and then he disappeared. And we were picking those tiles again. We were picking them neatly and neatly packing them into our pockets and our bags we were carrying with us, and we were packed. And we decided to make a reprieve from this nice activity, and we did, and we hide it in that if you try to get the point I'm gonna explain you. See, we had there kind of like hidden place. It was the cube, huge one, like 1.5 meters of its height, and it was around 3 meters wide, and 3 meters again backwards and forwards, and forward. It was like volumetric big concrete blocks made cube with a little square-shaped hatch carved in the concrete plate. And that cube was literally like not completely blocked from the sunlight coming into the bottom of that cube, and we hide it there inside that concrete blocks made cube. It was our secret place, our stash. We hide it there before we were gonna make our way home from that place. And we were just having rest, sitting. So we got there inside that concrete-made cube. We were just sitting and discussing our just stuff, that we were good about picking all those lit tiles. And our pockets were packed with those. And we, after just chatting for a while, we were silent for a certain period of time, let's say 3 minutes. We were just sitting and waiting for some miracle to come. And guess fucking what? The miracle fucking came in the appearance of that above-mentioned security guy. Oh my god, he appeared above our heads in that catch carved in the concrete block above our heads, just all of a sudden appearing just in a very horrifying way. and he was like looking at us, and he was yelling at us, "Get fucking out here, stupid kids! I don't wanna see you anymore being here at this place. I wanna kill you. I wanna punish you. I'm gonna catch you. I wanna bring you to your fucking parents to face your fucking punishment for your misdoings of tonight." That was the thing he was saying to us. We were fucking horrified to death, and we were literally speechless for several seconds. And guess what happened further on? The thing that is pretty funny right now when I'm telling you this story. We jumped out of that cube automatically, just fleeing, running too rapidly, making just noises and screams around us, being horrified by that security guy. But the point is, we jumping out of that cube spontaneously. We scared that fucking security guy to death. He was just on his butt, sitting around that concrete blocks made cube and staring at us, fleeing away, and we were just horrified to death, and he was fucking horrified to death, and I don't even know fucking who was horrified or who was horrified fucking more, us or him. Because we were yelling, he was staggered by our outrageous deed, by jumping out of that cube, not being horrified by him, but we were horrified, and that's why we fucking jumped out of that volumetric concrete blocks made cube, and we horrified that fucking goon to death, and he was sitting on his butt, literally yelling at us, "Go away," and that was all that he wanted to say, and he said, and we made our way safely to our nicest vicinities, to our yard, and we were again speechless, and we went just directly to our homes, keeping all that happened in secret and not telling to anyone, let alone telling that to our parents. And this was the story that I wanted to pitch here, and I did. And comment me if you have some similarities or some maybe silly experiences of your own that you would probably want to share. Then comment me, give links to your trashy stories of your childhood years, no matter what they fucking were, and I'll be all just perusing them, and I'll be grateful for your slightest feedback if you can, if you will, if you want. Again, everything that happens here on your liking is free world, it's free country, whatever, it's free mood, it's free will. It's been me, Alex, making things for as soon as I release something new, as soon as I have some new silly thoughts in my mind, I'll be familiarizing you with those. Have a nice one, just to do the thing that you want to do in your life, no matter what if I can say, never step out of your lead life tracks. I'll be with you as soon as I can. Pleasure, practice your American, never quit your lead stories and your lead experiences, as I've been just right now with you. Pleasure to feel you all and to make something for you all. See you in a while. Practice, never quit your just lead practices wherever. Have a nice one. Bye. Pleasure.